Hello. Is the voice sounds okay? Give me a feedback to it. Just in any case, if it's like something wrong with it, I can fix it right away. So that's our intro. And today I want to talk about something that I don't need to learn this stuff. I personally don't because I have such a high mentality, higher knowing about myself that I feel like no one out there can know my life better than myself. So, and that's why I can never trust anyone with my thing because I have tried to trust other people on my personal like my personal option, like what I want to do with this, and then I ask someone like, what do you think I can do here? And I always try their option, and then it never go like it never go well for myself because I trust that this person know me better than I do, and I'm like, no, I actually need to trust myself more. And I every time I get into that conclusion, I stop asking people because in that moment I know that what they believe is better or maybe like works better for me is not actually true. Like there are so many things that happen in the making of that solution that I'm not part of, that I know nothing about, that eventually it just their thing. It was never mine because I have no emotional connection. I have no signs that telling me in my own reality that this will work. And there's no such thing. So I'm like, okay, let's make it our own. And this is the mindset that I usually have whenever I'm creating something, whether it's food, whether it's a belief, whether it's a moment, whether it's reality, whether it's things that I buy. I always set my own standard to the point that if someone out there telling me this works better, I just know that how connected, how true is that for myself? Because I try to ask someone, but then I have a terrible communication habit that I never get to communicate what I actually want, or I was never I haven't reached the stage where I eventually know this is the standard that I want. So I eventually go into a space where okay, this person has something, I want that, and they say like, okay, this works better for me, and I try it, and I'm like, this is not it. It doesn't work for my struggle to like get my way out of this, and then I'm like, get back to it. But then this attempt is actually really useful because then we get to see, oh, this is how I want it to happen. Oh, this is how I actually this is the outcome that I actually want. And then this is and then we get to that. So that stage is important, but that's not the destination. So sometimes people struggle to believe that there is something that can fit everything that we want. But because we have been burned by so many wrong attempt, false attempt, we get into the mindset of helplessness. Like, hey, this is it. This is the best that we can get. I cannot get any better than this. Like, this is the final destination of this journey. And I'm like, are you feeling satisfied? Do you feel like I want this? Like, do you feel that moment, or are you feeling like, okay, I'm just tired. I don't want to keep attempting on the wrong thing. So I'm just like, I'm staying where I am. I'm like, is that really like a good thing? Are you just tired? Are you giving up? Or are you giving in? Are you feeling joy? So your emotion is the signal to if your journey is finished or not. Do you want to continue your journey or not? And I have this experience with the what do you call it? attempt now, tools that is presented out there. Now, the one of the tools that I have shared is that guy, Oscar Patel, which is the tools of essentially making your everything more systematic, more symmetry, more symmetrical. And he got into a point where everything is ended for him. But then my journey is still continue. And today I found like I just figure it out because have watched so many things. And since I talked about him in this channel, actually in my main channel, everything but fascia is actually popping up, and I'm like, what is going on? I don't know, but it popping up, and I'm like, that's interesting. And I watch one of the videos, and then they are telling this exercise, this movement that eventually will fix some of the fascia in your feet without you massaging it. And I'm like, okay, interesting. I didn't try that. That's not how it happened. I figure out that from Oscar Patel, the sole of your feet is actually the grounding stone of everything that is up here to your face. And I'm like, okay, interesting. I tried his, it doesn't work. Keeps coming back. It keeps reverted back to the normal, the usual stage. It's not normal, but it's just the usual state of my feet. And I'm like, okay, doesn't work. Okay, so what can we do now? And then I saw that video, and I'm like, but then I don't want to try that. There is no pull in me. And I'm like, I synthesize the information into something. What if we do it this way? So I put the two sole of my feet together, and then I do this open and closing to my knees. So the sole is connected, but then my knees is actually doing this open and closing. And eventually, I kind of fix the problem, because the problem with my feet is that I didn't use the muscle. Because at some point, I don't know why, but I think like I inflame the muscle itself to a point where I don't really use my right feet. And eventually it has less mass of muscle than my left feet, which is like interesting. And I'm like, okay, let's train that. Let's try it for a week. So we got it again. So this is why like the journey takes a while. Sometimes like you need to synthesize, you need to eventually understand. And if you have some standard that you cannot comply to other things like mine, I don't want other people to touch my body. And that's like have been the biggest issue. But also like even if I want to, I gotta have the funds, and I also have the people who can actually fix my body, but there's not. So tada, doing it myself is the key, is the way. And that has been happening for so long, and that's how we got here. And we fixed a couple of things, and this is like very exciting, because I kind of like can see the finish line of this already, even though like we haven't figured out all the things that is happening in our body, but we'll get there. We'll get there. And then there is another touch point that I want to share, which is like so the first story, the beginning of the story is like this. I was like suddenly become so intrigued by the number 33. I don't know why I was doing that. I'm just like, one afternoon, my guides showing me the number itself, 33. And I'm like, why? I don't know. I feel the pull, and I was so interested. I was so intriguing about the idea of 33. I'm just like really busting my ass looking for this in the search engine, in the YouTube, in the Google, in the Facebook, in the everywhere. I just like looking like a madman. And I look it up, and I'm like 33. And I was like, and then connecting it back to myself, like what 33 I have. Oh, in human design, I have the gate of 33. And I'm like, It's interesting. Never thought about it and never put it that way. But also like in numerology, the number 33 is the master number, like the top of the top master number. And it was very fascinating that I feel a certain pull to this idea, to this reality of 33. And I look it up, and then in YouTube, there's this guy that is calling himself Gary, the numbers guy, and then he has a channel, GG33. And I'm like, okay, don't know what that is. But eventually I get to know that it's a numerology and astrology, Chinese astrology chart decoder that just happen to be have their own philosophy upon the information around astrology and numerology. And he profoundly said, throughout my years of experiencing this, of getting back into this, and I connected the dots between the information and then the reality itself, I found that this world is run by the wrong information around astrology and numerology. And he eventually founded his own system. Ta-da! That is the GG33 in hindsight, and it's amazing that he have like expand his work so much that he can predict such a scenario like a freaking psychic, and then he tell other his followers to like, okay, you can use this as this, you can use this as this. So it's like bridging the energetic and the realness of this reality, like the practical one. Like, how do you make money? How do you actually get this person to like you, help you, whatever it is, and notice you, and all of the stuff. And it's fascinating. But the thing is that with every tools out there, even in the most profound one, you need to synthesize that information to your reality, because sometimes the idea itself doesn't work. You can certainly push the idea that this is the truth, like everything else. But essentially, whatever is the truth is what you feel inside, how you feel about yourself, how you feel about your reality. Because in that sense, you can control your reality in the way that you want it. And this is like something that I found in my synthesizing my physical ailment, is that I see something, I don't feel the pull, I don't feel that I want to try that solution. But then I'm thinking to myself, what if we do it this way instead? And that is more powerful than any other tools that you found out there, because then it's your way. And I'm here to amplify the code of you, which is your essence. And your way to expand your own code is actually to plant some of this solution in the world, whatever that is. Maybe someone out there is an inventor and they invent something because of their insight, and eventually that invention is being used for so many others. That is the kind of expansion that I wish you have, because I'm also sharing that my knowledge in my main channel, which is like why I am such a like I buy so much on the idea of yourself, is that if you have something, do something with it. Whether you do it on the protest kind of scale, whether you are creating something, whether you are showing something, whether you are just living it in your small reality, in your small circle, and that's okay. Because there are people who actually have that type of purpose. They're just working with their small group of people around their reality, not so expansive like you are becoming an influencer, you're becoming the prime minister, or maybe become a president or CEO. Not that big of a deal, and that's okay. That's your part, there's your goal. But eventually, what I dream about this reality is that every single human on earth know how to take a good participation in living this world is that whatever you do with yourself, I hope it's a good one. I hope that you do it with the full of your heart, because then you are showing yourself. You are becoming more and more of yourself every day. And you're not laying low because someone else out there telling you, you gotta lay low this year, which is what Digi33 is saying to me. So you cannot start anything on your enemy year because it will, I don't know, it will end up in a tragic way. I don't know. There are so many exits in this world. I know that exit point, but my feelings is that I need to show up right now, and I did. I was showing up last year actually since 2025, but then something is just hitting me like, okay, let's start this way. So I still in this kind of slow motion of showing up, but then like, okay, let's do it now and all this stuff. So that's my part. What I want what I want to share with you for a contemplation is that, have you noticed something that that is that you got from someone else out there that you have tried but it never like work on your favor, or you try to follow the recipe instead of follow your instinct? What if you just shifted to just follow your instinct? What if that is the key? And then when you try, what happened? Can you like, because the idea of this life is that you're navigating your everything with yourself. So meaning that if you have something going on, you just like working on it because you know like, okay, this is the sign, there is the sign, you can maneuver it this way, you can shift it this way, you can like slow your pace this way, knowing that you have these signs, because everything is already presented to you. You don't need to trust anyone else out there. And if you can do that, that would be great. So I said what I said, and thank you for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow.